Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Impatient DIYer. It's Erin here. Today's video is going to be part of the Crafted by Corie Minis challenge, and I'm going St. Patrick's Day. This challenge was actually a challenge for me because I normally don't make mini stuff, so my last one is a bit iffy, but we're gonna go with it. I'm really excited that this was actually a challenge for me though. So DIY number one, going to be making these cute little Shamrock Minis. And I really like how these turned out. If I had a tiered tray, they'd be on it. So I have the tumbling tower blocks from Dollar Tree that I painted with Waverly Antique Wax for my last DIY, and I had some left over. The Shamrocks are from Hobby Lobby, and they were half off. I'm trying out the acrylic paint from the Crafter's Corner. And then I have some gold metallic paint that I got from Walmart. I don't remember where the ribbon's from. Probably both Dollar Tree and Walmart. Just some place to put the paint. So the Shamrocks that I'm going to be using out of this pack are the tiniest ones on there, and I'm going to be using 3. And then I'm going to be using, I love my little paint holders from Dollar Tree. These things are awesome. And when I forget to wash them out, it's really nice knowing that I can go back and get more for $1. So I'm going to be painting 2 of these with the green from Dollar Tree and then 1 of them with the gold. So how I feel about this paint, I feel like it doesn't have very good coverage. I had to do 4 coats of the green to kind of get it the way that I wanted. I just wasn't a super fan of that. And then also, for those of you like me that put too much paint into your paint tray, I had a really hard time getting it back into the tube. Like, I'm not one to waste paint, and I always like putting it back in the bottle, putting it back in the tube. This was really, really difficult. So I did end up doing about 4 coats on the green. It dries relatively quickly, but it's not a serious acrylic paint. Like, you got like this all the way at the bottom, and then you have chalk paint up at the top. I feel like that's kind of how I feel about this paint. The acrylic paint that I have from Folk Art, the metallic, I love it. I've used it multiple times on things. I like a good metallic paint. This one, I think I had to do 3 coats just because I wanted that gold to really, really pop. But super easy to paint these. They did soak up some paint. They're a little bit on the dry side, so that's probably why I had to do a couple more coats. Maybe if you did some Mod Podge or something beforehand, might turn out a little bit better. I'm not really sure. But overall, I did like how these turned out. So I did use my heat gun to dry these in between each coat. And the heat gun that I have is just this like clunky thing that I stole from my fiance. Here you can see it. I don't know if he knows if I still have it here, but hopefully he doesn't miss it. So after I did all of my coats, heat drying in between, I'm going to take 3 of the tumbling tower blocks and 1 of the Shamrocks, and that's going to make my little mini piece here. I used hot glue, and I kind of angled the block when I put it on, so I would hopefully smush all of the glue to the back of the piece, but actually I didn't really have any overflow of glue with this. Maybe I did a thin enough strip, I don't know, but I was pretty excited about that. I still don't know if I let my hot glue gun heat up enough, which is kind of on trend for me, is just not letting things do what they need to do before I go on to the next step. Look how freaking cute that is though. Like, I'm actually really, really excited for how well that pops off of the stain from the Waverly Antique Wax. And I did not expect it to turn out that well. I love it. I don't know what style you would call it. Is it like rustic? Maybe rustic. I don't really know, but I really, really like how these turned out. I love Waverly Antique Wax. I really do. I use it on a lot of my projects, and I probably should have gotten a bigger bottle. But Maybe they'll have it next time I go to Walmart. Probably not. Because everyone knows it is so hard to get a hold of Waverly things. But this is how these guys turned out. I don't have a tiered tray, so I just kind of set them on this silver thing that I have a big glass beer jug on, and I really like it. Probably not where I'm going to keep them, but they look super cute on there for right now. Gonna work on the tiered tray thing, I promise. DIY number 2, going to be making this cute Pinterest-inspired Shamrock Outline. And so what we're going to be using is your cutting mat from Dollar Tree, one of these frames that I got from Dollar Tree, and then you're going to need like an X-Acto knife or a utility knife. And if you score this enough, you can actually just kind of fold it back and it comes off. This is my first time working with the one with the truck on the top. It was a little bit harder than the other ones that are just one solid piece. So I would not recommend getting this one. Here I'm going to struggle with the sticker for a little bit before I give up. So I am using the Folk Art chalk paint in black to cover this. And I was debating if I was going to do just the back of this or the whole thing. And I decided just to do the back, and then I do paint the back white part, like the back of it, with the chalk paint. I didn't feel like it needed to go over the rest of it, even though it's like shiny versus matte. I feel like you don't really notice it. But I did have to do quite a few coats of the chalk paint on the front part, and I'm not sure if I just should have done thicker coats, or I don't know what was going on, but I felt like you could still see like the outline of the design coming through. Here you can see I'm drying it, dried super, super quickly, and then I still felt like you could see like the white parts of it, just not like the colors, but the outline of it kept showing through. So I think I did like 4 coats. So then I'm taking another one of those tiny shamrocks from the last DIY, and this is a gold and silver chalk pen that I think I got from the Dollar Tree. I have a couple of these. I don't know if I didn't think I had one and I picked up another one, which is something I do at Dollar Tree, but I do have a couple of these. And I just used that gold side for that St. Patrick's gold, and I just did the dots all around it so you could get the outline of it without actually outlining it. And I've seen these on Pinterest a whole bunch of times with a shamrock and some green paint around it on white. I wanted to try this. I don't really want too much white in my St. Patrick's decor. I don't know why. I like the black and the gold. I feel like it just pops. So I think this is when I came in with like my other pen, because the first one actually started wearing out with all of the dots. You can see like some of them are brighter than others. So I came in with a second one, hoping that I would get some brighter dots. And it actually, I don't know, I guess I just got like really lucky with the first one. Like you could tell in the upper left-hand corner, those are brighter. But I still really, really like how this turned out. I felt like it needed something else. So I got this green ribbon that I'm pretty sure this one is from Walmart. And I have this in this thin green ribbon. And then I also have it in like a thicker one, because I figured I was going to make some bows at some point in time, and St. Patrick's Day, you got to have green. So I just took my hot glue gun and glued these on really quick. I took my finger protector from Dollar Tree and made sure to actually protect my finger this time. Didn't really care that it was going to overlap, because you'll see here in a second that I do end up cutting that off with just the pair of scissors that are right there. And I think it was still really, really clean looking. Like it didn't bother me at all that it was kind of overlapping. And the ribbon is a little wider than the frame itself, but I feel like it still looks really good. Like you can't really tell that it's that much wider. Like I feel like it almost makes the frame look wider, which is really cool. So there you can see I just cut everything off, and this is how it turned out. Like I said, I really like the black and the gold and the green, and it just pops. So I think this one turned out really cool. I like this idea and I want to try it on other things. So for DIY number 3, if you can even call this a DIY, I got these 2 candles from Dollar Tree. So I was super, super excited to find these candles at Dollar Tree. Green right before St. Patrick's Day. Perfect. I was a little sad it didn't match the green of my paint, or the paint that you got from Dollar Tree. So I kind of was at a loss. So I just took some of this gold ribbon that you will see right here, I cut too short, and then decided to match the other one and cut that one too short because I didn't actually measure the ribbon like I thought I did. It's fine. It ends up fine, but I'm still a little upset at myself. So I'm putting this ribbon along the line of the candle on the inside to kind of, I guess, cover that line where the wax goes up to. And I'm just hot gluing that on. Here you can see too short. Really loving myself at this point in time. You can see I tried to like pull it tighter, hoping that it would fit more of the candle. It did not. And then I was like, oh, this one's going to be too short too, but I had already cut it and I didn't want to waste ribbon. So this one is going on as well, too short. But it's fine. We're going to cover it. You're not even going to see it. It's going to be great. So after I did that, I decided that this was too plain. We're going to add a bow. I don't really have bows down, so I am making a fake bow. Once again, did not measure because apparently I don't do that anymore. So I'm just making this into a loop and hot gluing it using my finger protector. I love these things, guys. These are great. And this one I did a little bit too quickly and it came out a little wonky, but that's okay. You can really tell at the end, it's fine. So I did both of those, hot glued them. This one I did a little bit smarter and lined it up and everything like that, finger protector. And then I made a smaller loop that I am just gonna put around the center. And these bows always remind me of the bows that you have on like little girls' shoes or something like that, or your American Girl doll shoes or something. I like that they're clean and just petite little things that I can make look relatively good with my limited bow abilities. So I'm just gonna hot glue this on over that spot of blank candle where there's no ribbon. Sorry, I couldn't figure out like just blank candle where there's no ribbon. So we're gonna hide my mistake there. So this turns out super cute in the end. Also, I was able to fold some of the ribbon to hide it under this. So this is how these two cute little candles turned out. I actually really like them, but what would you guys add? I painted a little black at the top to add something, but tell me, what would you do to make these more? And that's it for today. Hope to see you guys next time. Bye.